What is up, my people? It's your main boy out here again, and today hello, girl. Welcome back. Want to be in the hot take? You want to be in the hot take? She didn't watch it with me, but okay, that scared her off. I'm here today to talk to you guys about the most recent Netflix series that came out called True Story, starring Kevin Hart and Wesley Snipes. So I, kind of binged it. I binged the show. It's about 7 episodes, mostly 30 minutes apart. The first episode was about 48 minutes to an hour. And here are my thoughts on it. Overall, it was great. It was so good to see Kevin Hart present himself in a way that we don't typically get to see him. And I'm not just talking about by means of being like being in like a serious film. Obviously it's a serious film. It's something that, you don't see him do a lot. But the cool part about his performance was that, like, it was close to home, meaning that like he didn't have to search too far for his role. He was playing a comedian, and that comedian gets caught up. This is no spoilers, I'm gonna keep it spoiler free. He plays a comedian that is on the top of the world and is just doing all different types of things, meeting fans. He has like a super fan and everything. But a wrench kind of gets thrown into the fray when his brother pops by, who is played by Wesley Snipes, pops in and just, makes things take a little bit of a turn. Which is something that I consider to be very relatable, when like, you're doing everything, going on, you got everything going on for you, and then like a family, that family member who, like kind of pops by and out of nowhere things kind of just take a bit of a turn. People like kind of get you into some stuff, so, it's something that can be very relatable. I'll put it that way. I touched on this a little bit earlier, but I think Kevin Hart did a great job. I don't think it was like, like the biggest challenge, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. I haven't been very vocal about like my thoughts on Kevin Hart. Now, the thing is, I actually really like Kevin Hart. He's an inspiration to me, on someone who, has been grinding for a long time, and will forever continue to grind. And his whole idea behind trying to build something, trying to build a history, build a legacy, that's big for me too.
For me, it's about history. It's about making sure that last name Hart means something when it's all said and done. My kids, I want them to understand not only who their father is, but why he's in the position that he's in.
But by means of his performance, in this, again, I think it was great. There were moments where like I could tell that, it felt like it was new territory for him, where it's like, all right, I gotta be serious in this bit. I have to, I can't be funny. It's a hard thing. It's definitely a hard thing to pull off, for him. Because there was definitely times where I'm like, I feel like he'll have these like angry moments that happen throughout, and I'm trying to take them seriously, which is one of the issues that kind of happens when you're a comedian trying to be serious. It's hard for people to take you serious. But I think Kevin Hart did a great job doing that. And I know he has another movie with Bryan Cranston. I can't think of the name of it, but in a similar fashion, it was like a more serious thing. But I think it had like it was mostly like a lighthearted type of tone. This is not lighthearted, and again, I'm very glad that it wasn't. Wesley Snipes' performance was also really good. You know, it felt good seeing Wesley Snipes kind of come back in such a dynamic way, because the last thing I saw him in was Coming to America 2, and it was okay. Coming to America 2 was okay. It was great to see Wesley Snipes again, but in this case, this is the type of Wesley Snipes that I'm glad to see come back. You know, I think most of the cast, like the cast is actually pretty solid with a lot of newcomers. Far as I can tell, a lot of newcomers that kind of popped in and were great. Another thing is that like, I don't really watch a lot of Netflix shows, so I want to say it's kind of hard to keep my attention one half the time. But if it's a good show, I will continue to watch. And this was a great show. It's quite a fun journey to see how Wesley Snipes and Kevin Hart's relationship evolves in the short glimpse you know, that we get to see throughout these episodes. It had multiple twists. I want to say it was like, you know, for what it's worth, it was, though there was a lot of newcomers, it was actually a pretty star-studded cast. The cast was solid, the performances were solid, and by means of like relationships, they build a lot on the relationships, and they talked about a lot of good topics. You know, racism, you know, being in the industry, you know, what that means, how it's some of the nuances that come with being in the industry and being a larger than life type of profile, family, brotherhood. I mean, it all gets touched on, and it gets touched on in a way that I wouldn't say broke the mold. Like it's not like groundbreakingly different, but it definitely does deserve some type of recognition, I would say. I like the fact that the industry seems to be going further into a route, or at least I hope they are, going into a route of having people who have these types of experiences, or, you know, these types of profiles like Kevin Hart, like Dwayne Johnson. I hope that they continue to go into a route where their profile matches the profile of these stories, of these, you know, fiction and nonfiction type roles. For people who have a very specific type of profile, it makes for a much better type of experience when that profile that they do have, it's tweaked ever so slightly and used to tell a really compelling story. You know, on a scale of recommended to, you know, don't look at this ever again, I would definitely say recommended. You know, again, it's a great story. It's a fun time. Lots of, you know, it's a way to see Kevin Hart and Wesley Snipes in a way that you don't typically see them. More specifically, seeing Kevin Hart. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, click that bell for more notifications on all our videos, and feel free to, you know, post in the comments, have you seen True Story, and what was your favorite parts about it? What was the stuff you didn't like about it? You know, let's start that dialogue. We're going to be doing more hot takes and reviews and things like that, so be on the lookout for all of it, you know what I'm saying, and peace out, y'all.